Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video. This time we'll be back at the Avatar Destiny and Go battle yet again, even though I know I made a video on it like literally a week ago, but here we are again, because someone, or some people, have discovered that you can replace Cherry Blossom with Blackberry again. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to all 3 Cherry Blossom farms, I'm one of them. Yeah, we don't need her anymore because we can use Squids to dodge the laser instead of using Cherry Blossom herself. Also, this strategy could not have been made possible without all these people displayed on the screen right now, because they helped me quite a lot, especially in the Discord server that I made recently, link in the description. Anyway, let's go right into the team. The team is as follows: Macaron, Squidding, our new member or returning member, Blackberry, Rye, and then Cream Puff, who debuted last time. And for the treasures, it will be Scroll, Robes, very important, do not try and use Fork, use Robes, and Clock. Alright, let's go right into the toppings. First of all, Macaron will be using full cooldown as before, with at least 24% cooldown substats. If you can get it higher, that's appreciated, but it's not mandatory. Then Squidding, which will be using a mix set of 3 attack and 2 crit, and they will be using at least 6.5% cooldown and at least 5% attack speed. You want to be getting at least a few attack and crit subsets if you're able to, and of course they will be needing the candy. It's fine if it's a low level, but I recommend leveling it still because it gives them a damage increase. Then Blackberry. Blackberry. Blackberry will be using full cooldown, which is different than before, but at least 24% cooldown in substats. As you can see, I have a little bit higher than 24, and I do recommend getting higher, but it's not actually mandatory. And if you can, get some attack or crit substats. Then Rye, which will be using a mix set just like Squidding, but for Rye, definitely at least a level 10 or 20 or 30, just get it as high as you can candy. But for Rye, we'll be using at least 6.3% cooldown and at least 6% attack speed, because she will be getting the Robes bonus as well as Squid will. Of course, try and focus on attack and crit substats if you're able to. Now, for Cream Puff, who is very important, she needs a level 10 candy, otherwise she does not provide buffs to the rest of the team, but she will be using a full crit set with at least 8.5% cooldown, and of course try to get her crit as high as you can, because if she has more crit, she has more of a success rate with her spell. Also, if you happen to have a very high level puff candy, let's say plus 30, you can actually even decrease her crit and add an attack topping, but for safety I definitely recommend using 5 crit pieces. Anyway, as mentioned before, the treasures are Scroll, Robes, and Clock. Has not changed. Do not change it, please. And yeah, that's it. So let's go right into the strategy. Don't let the auto fool you. This is quite a complicated strategy, because we'll be starting with queuing Macaron and then putting the timer right into Squidding. Now, before we get to the boss, we will be using Cream Puff's skill before we actually get into the fight, before the boss attacks on the stairs. Then, when Squid casts their skill, we will be putting the timer onto Blackberry, and when she is done, putting it back onto Macaron. So, Puff on the stairs, and then Blackberry, instantly followed by Macaron. And then we put the timer onto Cream Puff so that Rye does not use a skill yet. Then, we will be using Rye's skill when Blackberry is about halfway ready to be using her skill again, or at 54 on the timer. So, we will be using Rye's skill about now, and then putting the timer back onto Macaron. Afterwards, we'll be casting Blackberry after all the pillars have dropped. So now just let it auto a bit. After Squid has casted, we'll be putting the Q onto Macaron again. And now, we won't be using Rye's skill right away, we'll be waiting until Blackberry has about 1 second left, so that Rye can get the buffs from Blackberry and Macaron. So, now we use Rye and these two, and then put the timer onto Cream Puff. Afterwards, we'll be putting it onto Rye and just manually timing Blackberry and Macaron, because that's easy for the auto. And after Rye casts, turn off auto. Now, this is important. The boss will be dropping pillars again, and we will be casting BB, Squid and Macaron in a very specific order. When the boss drops its first pillar, we will be casting Blackberry. When it casts its second pillar, we will be casting Macaron, and when it casts its third pillar, we will be casting Squid Ink. This order matters quite a lot, especially Squid Ink being at the third pillar and not any later or earlier, otherwise they don't target all the pillars accordingly. So, as proceeds, Blackberry, Macaron and Squid Ink. And we will not be using Cream Puff skill when it's ready immediately. We'll be using her skill when the first two pillars have been destroyed, and then using Rye right after. So, first pillar is destroyed, and then use Rye. Then you just spam Blackberry and Cream Puff accordingly. And we will not be using Squid skill right away in case they get focused by the one-shot attack. We'll be dodging it, and we want them to get the buffs from everyone else. But here, in this case, my Blackberry got focused by it, which is a normal thing that can happen. It's very tight, it's very annoying to control, but it can lower your damage a little bit, but it shouldn't do it too much. Anyway, that's it for the strategy. It's a bit complicated in my opinion, yes, but I do feel like you get quite a bit of an increase over using Cherry Blossom, which hurts me because I love using her. Anyway, damage stats should be looking something like this. You can probably get a little bit more on Cream Puff if you have a high level candy, because mine's only level 10, but it works accordingly. Then we'll be moving to a non-commentary, just a normal version of the run right after this. But at the end of the video, I have a special section in case you are running into a lot of issues with this strategy, like someone randomly dying or you're not clearing pillars fast enough. Most of those, I hope, shall be answered right there. And if they're not, just leave a question down in the comments and I will read them. I'll probably respond to them as well. And that's it from me. You're not going to hear much more from me, so I hope this video was helpful to you. Maybe leave a like or subscribe even. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye. And now the common issues section. Issue number 1. The first pillar not being broken when Squid automatically uses a skill. Now there could be a few solutions to this. The first one being increase Cream Puff's cooldown. Her cooldown might be too low and you need to have at least 8.5. Or you are not casting Rye close enough to the silence. When you are casting Rye closer to the silence, it will give everyone in the team attack speed. And that attack speed will stay until you cast Blackberry at the start. Your Blackberry might not be getting the attack speed buff because you are casting Rye too early. Common issue number 2. After the second pillar drop, there is a pillar with a lot of hits on it left. The solution to this is to time Squid skill earlier during the pillar drop. You have to keep in mind that you have to time Squid after the third pillar comes around, but before the fourth one comes down. This is very important. This also applies to reverse. If you have the first pillar where a lot of HP left, that means that you time squid too early, way before the third one dropped. And again, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching this video and for all the supporters of late. I know I hit 1000 subscribers quite a while ago by now, and I still haven't really done anything, but I cannot thank you people enough for all the helpful comments and feedback that I've been getting in like the last few months. So thank you so much, and I will keep making videos as long as I see fit. So make sure to maybe subscribe to see more. Thank you. That will be it. See ya.